Hello, this is RICKY, the Android Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Android Weekly / Android Q&A. We go over all the latest news that happened during the week and answer your questions live. Now, before we kick things off, I do have a special announcement. So first of all, we have, of course, the Patreon winner. So I have not messaged him yet. I will actually message him after, or yeah, I believe it's to him. Message him after the win. But I just rolled the metaphorical dice, and we have our winner of the Echo Dot. So I will be shipping this out to our winner, which is Everin. Everin, you have won the Echo Dot, so I will be messaging you after this show, and we'll be messaging you to get your address so I can send you the Echo Dot. So congratulations, you donated $2 total, and you got an Echo Dot for it. So thank you for donating, and thank you for making me able to do these kind of reviews and giving you guys products. So for those of you who haven't checked out our Patreon page, here it is. This is what it looks like. You just go to patreon.com/asktheandroidguy, and you go here and you get to win stuff. So what are we giving away this month? Well, we're giving away more than one thing, actually. So on this month's Patreon, I'm actually giving away 3 prizes. 3 prizes are going to the Patreons this month, and the first 2 are Samsung Gear VRs. So we will be giving away 2 Gear VRs for our patrons. So if you haven't yet, donate $1 and you can get a Gear VR on our Patreon page. And we're giving away 2 of these, and we're also giving away a Gear Fit 2. So we're giving away a Gear Fit 2 large band. We're giving away one of these on our Patreon page as well. So 3 prizes this month, 2 Gear VRs and 1 Gear Fit 2. So 3 prizes. You have 3 chances of winning this month, and I will be shipping those off to the winners at the beginning of January. Now, there will be a little bit of a delay because CES is the first week of January. That's our other big announcement. We are, of course, going to CES this year, and we will be covering everything there. So the big thing about CES this year is that we are probably going to see some interesting things. From one is going to be Samsung. I do expect them to release a new tablet. But 2, we're going to see different things from Honor's going to be there, ZTE, a lot of other companies that really hit home with the mid-range price points are going to be there, and we will see what they have to offer. So we will be covering CES from January 3rd until January, I want to say 7th, I believe. We're going to be covering CES, so stay tuned for that, and we will have lots of videos coming during that week. Alright, now that we got the Patreon giveaway and everything else out of the way, let's get to the other stuff, which is the weekly news. So the first big topic is going to be, of course, as it is every week since the Note 7 issues, the S8. And what is it going to have, and what can we expect? So one big thing is that it's going to actually have a front-facing autofocus camera. There are almost no cameras out in the market that has a autofocus on the front, as most cameras, they have a fixed focus, so you can only be so far away and it will automatically have a fixed focus, which you don't think about a lot, but really when you have it further away from you, that is when you would want to have it. So when you do that selfie stretch, get a group of people in the shot, that's when you would want a autofocus instead of a fixed focus. But as of now, the industry standard is fixed focus. This will be one of the few phones with autofocus. So that's definitely exciting to see. And we will also possibly only have 1 camera on the rear. That's right, for the cameras, it looks like currently Samsung is leaning towards only 1 camera coming up this week. So it looks like that as of right now, it looks like there will not be 2 cameras, at least on the S8. But here's the thing. The S8 Edge could have dual camera, as the S8 Edge typically is the bigger phone, so it has the space for it. but also with the bigger phone, you're also going to have the ability to have more there, so you can actually have a bigger battery, better camera, and worth the $100 price difference that the S8 Edge will most likely be. And finally, we're hearing that it will be maxed out at 6 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. Now, I'm very interested about this 256 if it will come to the US, because US carriers did love the fact that it was 32 gig, just 32 gig, no other storages, so you had lots and lots of inventory for the S7s. Now, will this be the same way? I think I would be really surprised if we get this in the US. I don't think we will, to be honest. But I think I would rather see a 64 gig variant of the S8, finally a 64 gig standard, and that would definitely be worth my money, especially if we saw that 64 gig on the S8 Edge. I would definitely buy that phone. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think we'll see the 256 everywhere, or do you think it'll be in only special markets like Korea, where everyone kind of gets that kind of special edition phones over in Korea, where Samsung's headquarters is? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. All right, now Apple also has filed, there's been 2 patents filed this week, and the first one is from Apple, and Apple has filed a patent for a circular wearable. I think that's about time. Apple's entire watch, this whole app section is made for Circle anyway. I think this is inevitable. I think Apple will eventually do a circular watch, and it just makes sense, just simply for the fact that when it comes to a watch, a circular design seems to be so much better. And I think that's one of the reasons why people don't buy the Apple Watch, to be honest. It just doesn't look as good as circular watches out there, whether you're talking about the Galaxy Gear S3, or sorry, just the Gear S3, not Galaxy, the Samsung Gear S3, or if you're talking about the Moto 360, or if you're talking about, does Asus have a circular one now? Asus does, I believe. Huawei definitely does. So a lot of other circular designs are just better off, in my opinion, and that's why I think that Apple hasn't done as well with their watches as they could. Obviously, they're still doing great, but they're nowhere near what they want to be, and I believe most of it is because of the design. Now, if you are an Apple user, would you buy an Apple Watch simply for this design? I think this would sell a lot better, and I think it's a lot more Apple-esque, to be honest. And then finally, we also have a really big patent, kind of a combination of VR and AR from Samsung. So Samsung has patented a Gear VR with eye tracking. What does this mean? Well, this means it can actually move with your eyes. So if you're looking at a part in the screen, then it can actually move with there. It's a really interesting concept because it kind of gives you something that you have in AR, which you can see through kind of the phone. Now with Gear VR having eye tracking, you'll get a step closer to that, not only immersion, but completely where you can control everything without needing like a controller or a joystick or something along those lines, or that tapped or the touchpad. It's just a lot easier. The more natural VR feels, the more immersive it'll become. All right, guys, that was the news topics of the week. Now let's get to the questions that were asked. If you have a question you would like me to answer, just email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com and make sure the subject is question, and hopefully I will answer it next week. All right, now the first question is from Carl, and Carl has a 2-year-old Note 4 that shuts itself off by itself. It will not turn back on unless hooked up to a charger. The charge on the battery doesn't make a difference whether it's 40%, 60%, 80%. Have you heard of this happening for others? Yeah, absolutely. Your battery is done. That's all that it is. What you are describing is the battery. The battery seems to be done over time, especially after 2 years. You have probably overcharged it. Charging it for long periods of time, like overnight, speed this process up, but it is inevitable for those who charge overnight. That's why one of the reasons why you don't have that issue anymore on newer Samsungs is because you have wireless charging. Wireless charging won't overcharge your phone. But unfortunately with the Note 4, you have overcharged it. Now, the benefit, of course, is that you can just go out and get a regular battery to replace that with, and you're done. So the Note 4 battery, just buy a Note 4 battery. They're still being sold, definitely by aftermarkets and third parties. Just buy that battery, and that should fix your problem. All right. The next question is from Wes. And Wes asks, today I bought an S7 Edge and got a free Gear VR. And I bought an OtterBox Defender case. So I have a couple questions. Will Samsung wireless charger work through the OtterBox Defender case? Yes, it can. We actually have tested this out in the studio. However, I will say this: it does make the charge a bit slower. So keep that in mind. Your charge is not as quick as it normally would be because it's further away due to the Defender's thick casing. 2, where do I get videos for the Gear VR? Well, YouTube is probably one of the best places. You can download the web browser app, internet browser, from the Oculus Store, which is where you get all of your apps. And then when you do that, you have your Oculus Store downloaded. You can go to internet browser and watch YouTube videos in 3D. Well, not only in 3D, but in 3D and in VR. So the 360 videos are the ones made for that. So that would be what you would want to do. There's also other websites. There's even pornography websites that allow you to do that. So there's lots of different places you can find 360 videos, and the internet browser is probably the best way to do it outside of actually getting 360 movies or shows, which is in things like Samsung VR and definitely a lot of shows now, like live sports. Especially like the NBA Finals, NFL playoffs, all that kind of stuff is always available on Next VR, and that is another app that's in the Oculus Store. Have you done any videos on the new Samsung Gear VR? Yes, I have. I've done plenty of videos on it, so make sure to check that out. Make sure to still check out the hidden features video. Although it is a bit dated, I might make a new one coming up. But overall, that's still a great video to go on how to do some hidden features on there. All right. So that being all said, let's get to the questions that are being asked this week. Again, if you have a question you would like to ask, just ask it in the comments section down below, and I will get to it before the end of the show. All right. Let's get to the first questions. A lot of people saying hi. Hello, everyone. Is the Xiaomi Mi Mix a practical smartphone? It's not for the US. I would not recommend anyone from the US get it because it does not have the Google Play Store. So you have to sideload that in as long as with Google Play services and a lot of other things. So I would not really recommend it for a Google Play for a US person, just because of the fact that you're not going to really have a full smartphone. So that being said, it's a practical smartphone. Yeah, for the most part, I don't see anything wrong with having that kind of design phone. I, of course, have not held it, so unfortunately I can't say firsthand. But overall, I think it's a good style and phone, and one that I quite frankly think is amazing looking. This is the first time I'm looking at the live chat. Well, Kevin, you made it, so I'm happy you're here. No stream? Yes, there is a stream. What's with the S8? The S8 is, again, everything kind of what we went over earlier today. So if you missed the beginning part, the S8 looks like it's going to have an autofocus front camera, only one regular camera, at least on the regular S8, nowhere on the S8 Edge, and a 256 gig storage at max. Yesterday I got the Xbox One S, and I'm having issues with my NAT. It's on moderate. Do you know how to change it to open? I would look up how to do that. The walkthrough is not as easy, as simple, and especially because I don't know the Xbox menu, I'm not sure if you would have to change things on there besides just your router and your router setup. So yeah, that would look it up on how to do it because it's more complex than to explain it here desktop. Uh, just got the S7 Edge. I'm not impressed. Really, what phone did you have before? I'm kind of curious on what phone you had before going to the S7 Edge that makes you not impressed. Um, do you think the Galaxy S8 or the OnePlus 4 will be better? I quite frankly think OnePlus 4 will be good, but it's going to come out around the Note series time. So OnePlus is never really a tremendous competitor of the S series. It's more of a trying to go against the Note series, but it often fails at that in terms of spec for spec, quality for quality. But it's always good for the price, and that's what OnePlus is more so. It's a great mid-range phone that gives you a lot of premium quality and premium parts. OnePlus 3T or Pixel XL. I would go OnePlus 3T. I would for me personally, I would choose the OnePlus 3T over the Pixel XL. I unfortunately was just really not impressed by the Pixel XL. The review is coming. It's in editing right now, I believe. It still hasn't gone up yet. But yeah, the Pixel XL is just, it was not my favorite phone, unfortunately. Is the audio and picture off for others? Is it off for anyone else? Is the audio off for you guys? Let me know. Best tech gift for a 16-year-old boy. He's a techie as well. I'm doing a best tech gifts coming up this week, so we will do 10 best tech gifts for the holiday season. It's coming out this week, so I will hopefully actually do it tomorrow. So that will be coming up very shortly, and we'll have that. But there's a lot of good ones out there. Even something simple like this boogie board that we did was a really nice one that I have really liked to just write quick notes on. And this is like $20 or $24 or something like that. So there's a lot of great finds. Everything was under $100, and I will have that shortly. Why is the Gear S the same amount as the Gear S3? Some people like the design. The Gear S shouldn't be the same price as the Gear S3, especially used. You can probably get it for a lot cheaper. I mean, I've seen the Gear S go as low as $80 at times, but it just depends on where you're buying it from, who, and where. Do you prefer Android Wear or Tizen software for a watch, excluding app selection? Excluding app selection, Tizen I prefer, actually. Tizen I think has a lot better interface compared to Android Wear. I think Android Wear still doesn't have a good interface. I think it's right there with Apple Watch, to be honest, in terms of the quality of the interface. I love Android, but their watches just do not have a good interface, in my opinion. I think the card system just doesn't work enough to be a watch system, and I think it still has a lot of work to do. We'll see with Android Wear 2.0, see how much it improves it by, but that still hasn't come out yet. How do you do that kind of video where you get a separate internet browser view and your face? Oh, I'm using a program called XSplit. I think it's called XSplit, right? It's called XSplit, isn't it? It's called XSplit. Yeah, XSplit Broadcasting. That is the program that I use and that I use to stream. So I have this and a capture card. Have this and that's how I'm doing it. So yeah, that's the tools that I use. Do you think Apple will reveal a very headset or Google Home or Amazon Alexa alternative for the future? VR headset. Will they reveal a VR headset or a Google Home? They're working on both, actually, except for the VR. Doesn't look like they're going to do it. They still want more augmented reality than virtual reality. And Tim Cook has been on record of saying that. So you won't see a virtual VR headset from Apple. If anything, you might see an augmented reality in a couple of years. Definitely not in 3 years, though. It's further off than that. Did they really shut down the Note 7 network on all the way in other countries? They did in Australia and New Zealand. They blocked the IMEI so it can no longer be available. Just got the Gear S3. It's the best on T-Mobile, and they have it as a tablet because when I call the number of the Gear, it said it's not accepting calls. So how does it work when I'm not connected to the phone? You have to make sure you're set up with your auto call forwarding, which is in the Gear Manager app. You have to input your Gear phone number. So that Gear is assigned a phone number. So the Gear S3 is assigned a phone number. That phone number has to be in your Gear Manager, and that will enable the call forwarding. And then you can double check it on the watch just to make sure that it's done right. And then you should get it after 60 seconds of being disconnected. It will receive, as soon as it goes to voicemail, it will then go to the watch. Do you think there will be an S8 and a S8 Edge or only one? There will be an S8 and an S8 Edge. That's the definite. We will see it, but the S8, S9, Note 8, or later. The S8, S8 Edge, and Note 8 will all come out next year. When do you think Apple Watch will incorporate LTE in the near future? I think it will go 3G before it goes LTE. To be honest, Apple Watch has never dealt with any kind of battery drain like LTE, so I think that would be too much of a jump to go right away. I think you're gonna see it go to like HSPA or HSPA Plus first, and then it goes to LTE later. Do Samsung S8 have an S Pen? Have a pen like the Note 7? No. There will be no Note until August. There will be no Note until August. Can't wait for the new Note. I went for the Note 5 to the S7 Edge, and it's cool, but I gotta have my S Pen. I miss the S Pen too, man. I'm not gonna lie, I miss it. People don't buy Apple Watches. You do realize it's the best-selling smartwatch, don't you? I do, but I didn't say people don't buy Apple Watches. I say they don't buy as many as they want. You know it's really low compared to everything else that Apple sells. And you know what they estimated they would sell at has never been anywhere near what they sell. And how do I know this? Because Apple's never said their own numbers. They actually categorize their Apple Watch sales with their tablets and other categories, so their investors will never know how many Apple Watches are sold. And what you're thinking of in terms of top sales, by the way, are estimates. They're estimates in terms of calculating what shipments are sent so that they could hope to estimate how many are sold. That's not facts. That's an estimate. So we actually don't know how many Apple Watches are sold. You do know how many Fitbits are sold in that kind of estimate, and you do know how many other devices are sold, but Apple has never and will never say how many Apple Watches they've sold because it's not selling as well as they want, and definitely not selling as well as their investors want. Whoa, whole bunch of questions just loaded. I'm still having the Note 5. I thought Apple sold 70% of all smartwatches. Again, when it's smartwatches or wearables, either way it's estimates. But again, these are all estimates done by Gartner and everyone else that does the estimates for the shipments. They're all estimates. Apple has never said how many watches they've sold. So yes, there's estimates that Apple has sold that much of watches compared to everyone else. But again, it's just an estimate. They've never said the amount of sales. How long do I have to wait for the Note 8? I returned my Note 7, went back to the Note 4. Don't want to waste my free upgrade. You have till August. So 9 months. Good luck. Can the S2 Tab be fast charge or rapid charge, or is it not capable of that? It is not capable of that. One of the many reasons why I want a freaking new tablet, Samsung, just because my Tab S2 is so dated. So dated. Hi, Ricky from Singapore. Any reviews on the new Samsung A9 Pro? No, unfortunately, because we do not get the A series really in the U.S. Samsung unfortunately does not send us any of those devices, unfortunately. How can I watch my downloaded movies on the Gear VR? I think I made a video on it. I think you made a video on it, but I can't find the video. Yeah, all that you do is actually just put it in the DCIM folder. So it does have to be in a specific folder, the DCIM folder. Then you watch it in Oculus Video. And then Oculus Video pulls up every video you have in the DCIM folder, and you can watch it there. And if it's a 3D video, it'll actually pop out 3D too. So it's pretty cool. It's more like a tablet than a phone, the Mi Mix. Yeah, but they're actually apparently making a smaller version of it. Because, yeah, I know it's a 6.4 inch. But even though it's a 6.4 inch, it's the same size pretty much as the iPhone Plus. So it just gives you an idea about how big of a screen of a phone you can have once you really take out the bezels. I found an AT&T LG G4, but I'm with Verizon. Can I somehow activate it? Probably not, or you're gonna have a lot of issues with it, unfortunately, with the connectivity. The AT&T G4 can be used on T-Mobile, but not on Verizon, really. My best thing would be to trade it in maybe to Verizon to get money for it, to maybe get an LG G4 or LG G5 for Verizon at a discounted price. Do you think virtual reality will get better? I do believe virtual reality will get a lot better, actually. Over time, I think virtual reality will become really big and really good in terms of it. I mean, it's just going to get more and more immersive. I mean, I'm up to the point now, which I'm going to do a lot of videos for this coming up, guys, for the smart home stuff. But I can turn everything on in my living room now with my voice in terms of like I can say the activation word, which I won't say, Google, blank Google, turn on my Android TV. It turns on my TV, my soundbar, and my Shield TV, switches to the input all through my voice. It does it all through my voice. And I can do, turn on the PlayStation. It turns on the PlayStation. I can say, turn on the TV, and it'll switch to my cable and switch to that. So it's really kind of cool that the stuff we used to see in movies is getting to that point. Like I can say, do this, do that, and it will do it. And that's awesome. So yeah, I think virtual reality will get to the point where you can feel things. I mean, it's going to get crazy eventually. What is a VPN and should you use it? A VPN is a virtual private network. Everyone should use a VPN, especially on portable devices. Things like smartphones should always have a VPN. And definitely should always have a VPN on every laptop. If you have a laptop, you should have a VPN. Because if you don't have a VPN, guess what? Every time you go to Starbucks or McDonald's or any kind of Denny's, any kind of public Wi-Fi area, library, school, anything, they can get into everything. So you always want to get a VPN for everything, just to keep your stuff private and so that people can't hack into your stuff. And that's why people get it. Now, the downside to a VPN is it can make your internet speed a bit slower. So, for instance, when I stream, it goes through my VPN, so the VPN doesn't slow it down. And then as soon as I'm done streaming, it goes to VPN back. So that's how a VPN can work if you set it up right. Hey, Ricky, what do you think about the Honor 8? It's one of the top 10 phones of the year, and we will be doing that video coming up this week. I just got a new logo made for our award logo, so that will be coming very shortly. Ricky, what do you think about, any news on the Tab S3? No, but hopefully we'll hear about the Tab S3 come January or February at CES or MWC. Have you seen the new games that coming out for PS4? Excited about The Last of Us 2 and Marvel vs. Capcom. So I did not finish The Last of Us 2. Me and my wife actually tried to play it. We couldn't get through it. I felt the controls were just too stiff. Kind of reminded me of a Resident Evil kind of game. So, but I loved the story. So me and my wife said that we're gonna actually, it's 3 hours. We're gonna watch all the cutscenes so we get the full story, and so we're ready for Last of Us 2 to give it another try. For Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Marvel vs. Capcom 4, I cannot wait for that. The Infinity. First of all, who is the ultimate villain? It's Thanos and someone from Capcom. Who is that person going to be? I'm very curious. Yeah, I don't know. But definitely very curious to see who's that going to be. But I'm excited about that. I started playing some of my games that I've bought now, and I'm playing Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2 right now, and I played a few Madden 2017, and I will start Final Fantasy 15 next week. So I'll start to play that. Finally, gonna play some games. I haven't had time to play games for a while now. Samsung Pay is boss on the Gear S3. It is. I love Samsung Pay on the Gear S3. When does the color sleeve for Google Home come out? This. You mean these? I have the home base. I can't stretch it that far, but I have the home base. I don't know if you could kind of see it. I'll just move this a little bit. There you go. So those have been out for a while. I don't know if that's what you mean or something else. So yeah. Let me just fix this right here. Okay. How is the J3? I have not... Oh, it is off. I apologize for the sound is off, guys. I will look into that. Oh. I am so sorry that the sound is off. I am very sorry that I only realized it now. I will fix the sound before the next show. I'm very sorry about that. I did not realize that the sound was off. Now I need to check. I did a mainstream movie guy video recording earlier, and I'm not sure if the sound was off on that. Now I got to go check that too. Should you buy a Pebble now? I wouldn't. I think a Pebble's a waste now at this point. I don't like the e-ink that much. I never did as much as other people did. For me, it was a stepping stone to get to later on. I hear good news on the cheap Merge VR. I got one coming December, $59. Best cheap VR for smart. They got a controller. Moonshot coming in the future. Talk about that, review it. I will look that up. I've never heard of this Merge VR, but I'll look it up. Do you use your Philips Hue to set the mood? I have not used that yet, Rob. However, I told my mom and my brother that for Christmas, all that I would want is actually more Philips Hue bulbs, and the really inexpensive ones, because these ones are the ones that can change the color and everything like that and all that kind of stuff. But for the other one, for my living room, I'm going to have just like the $15 ones, so very inexpensive, but they're still dimmable. So for those, the really great part about that is that I'm literally gonna say, "Hey, Google," and I'm gonna say Netflix and chill. Netflix and chill will be dim the lights, turn my TV on, turn the sound bar on, and it will literally have my smart TV ready to watch Netflix or whatever we want to watch. That is how you just like impress a girl, even though it's my wife. Gotta keep up, appearances, guys. You got to live up. My wife, one of the first things she fell in love with me was my techiness and my geekiness. So I just can't let someone else come along and be more techy or geeky than me. So I have to maintain appearances. So I'm just gonna be like, hey Google, hey Netflix and chill, and it's gonna be like, okay, let's set the mood. Because that's the cool thing about how I've set up Google Home. I can actually personalize the response it gives me. So like when I say turn on my TV, it says, okay, hopefully there's something good on. Like you can personalize the response too, so which is really cool. I gotta do a lot of videos on it. I'm getting super excited with all the stuff I'm doing with Google Home. Definitely excited for it. How to make time-lapse videos on Android. It's different with every phone, unfortunately. Every phone has a different thing. Like on Samsung, you go into mode and you go to hyperlapse. That's it. On LG, you go to time-lapse. It has a mode called time-lapse. Motorola, I believe, has another one called time-lapse as well. But it just depends on every phone. Every camera is different on every manufacturer, unfortunately. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. When will Nougat 7.0 come out on the S7? As early as January, but no earlier than January. Talking about the 256 gig, will talking about the 256 gig will be in the S8. The 256 gig is supposedly on a version of the S8. Will it be on the S8 Edge? Maybe. Yeah, I'm really sorry, guys. I know the audio's off. Unfortunately, I can't really fine-tune it right now. I would have to end the whole broadcast and then restart it up again. So unfortunately, I cannot do that. Samsung never reveals their smartwatch figures either. So Samsung actually has publicly said their smartwatch figures for the Gear S and Gear 2 and First Gear. I do not remember them saying for the Gear S2 or the Gear S3 though. But yes, they have done their publicly. They've said their sales figures. Good try though. Hey Rix, what's up? I sent you an email. Did you get it about an hour ago? I might have not checked on it before. I try to set up the emails for the show a couple days before, usually not a couple hours before. Sorry, I've missed out everything once the S8 is supposed to come out. The S8 we're expecting to come out in March or April. When will Google release an IP68 Pixel XL? Probably the Pixel XL 2 coming out next year in October. Yeah, I understand the video and the audio aren't synced. S8 next year. Oh, perfect. Alexa is far better than Google's offering. To each their own. If you actually watch our Echo Dot and Google Home video, it really depends on what you're looking for. For me, everything that I want is geared more towards the fact that for everything that I want, Google Home serves a better purpose. But I can definitely see people for scheduling and for smart home stuff right now. Alexa's easily the better choice. So it just depends on what you're looking for. I called Samsung about not receiving rewards points on using Samsung Pay on the Gear S3. The person I spoke to said the Gear S3 Samsung Pay is simply not supported. Awards point disappointed. That really sucks, man. That honestly really sucks because again, Samsung should be doing that, and that's really fucked up on their part. Can you give a shout out to? Okay, Google, give me a shout out.
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that.
There you go. That was as close as I could do. Evolution. Um, how do you get a VPN? It's very simple. You can actually just look up free VPN, and there's plenty of them for laptops. You can actually even get it through Microsoft or through Apple for your laptop. You can do it that way. Opera VPN is the best VPN for Android, so that's the one you should get if you're on Android. Maybe I should do a video on that. What are your final thoughts on the Gear S3? Are there any significant improvements from the last two? The Gear S3 is really just a more refined version of the Gear S2. When people tell me, should you upgrade? Honestly, the best part about the Gear S3 is the bigger screen size. That's the best part about it. There's nothing that much like extravagant to it. Yes, I love Samsung Pay on the watch. I like it. But from what Best Tech just told us, look, that really sucks that you're not getting points. So why wouldn't I use my phone then instead? Unless I don't have my phone, it's a really nice feature to have. But it's all depends. Where did you get the Android hoodie at? I got this Android hoodie actually from my wife back in the day. She got this for me. I believe she got it from Google's website. Google actually has a merchandise store. If you actually Google merchandise store, you'll see it come up and you get lots of cool Android stuff there. I don't think they have this particular hoodie anymore, but yeah. When you crack your phone, do you get mad about it? Luckily, I've never cracked my phone. Just never have. I've actually, the worst I've ever done is I have a small scratch in it, which you can't really see that well. Actually, maybe you can on the camera. I'm not sure if it picks it up. It's like right there. Not sure if pick it up, but it's actually right there. You can definitely see it when there's like a white area. So if I pull up like something like this, it stands out a bit more, but it's like right there. It's too bright right now. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a crack right there for when I put it in my wife's purse. And unfortunately, that was my first ever scratch. And that annoys the hell out of me. But yeah. Hey Ricky, is the lagging on AT&T Samsung devices due to TouchWiz or AT&T or both together? It's really due to both. I mean, Samsung doesn't release as soon as they should, but AT&T is probably one of the worst at updating their phones, unfortunately. Will you do a movie review on Sully? It was a fantastic movie. Sully was a fantastic movie. Unfortunately, I kind of missed the boat on doing a review for it. I will be doing a 10 best movies of the year, and I will be doing a 10 best movies you should see of the year. And I think that the 10 best ones you should see are the ones that people don't usually see. Can you hear fine since the beginning of the show? Put the bulbs on your Amazon list, and I got you for the Hue bulbs. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, I mean, it's just they're really cool bulbs, and but no, it's fine, man. Thank you though. Oh whoa, whole bunch of stuff just loaded. iPhone 7 versus the OnePlus 3. OnePlus 3 better than the iPhone 7. Honestly, the iPhone 7, if it was the OnePlus 3 versus the iPhone 7 Plus, it would be a lot closer. But I just don't think the iPhone 7 is just not as good. Netflix and chill mode. Exactly. That's what we need in our house. We just need a Netflix and chill mode. A one button or one voice command, Netflix and chill mode. I'm telling you guys, it's the future. Can you do a video on how to get all that set up? I will do a video on that, Tech Turtle. We'll get that video done. What's the best band for the Gear S3 Frontier? I actually like the band that it comes with, to be honest. I like it. I do not plan on switching it out. But yeah, I would just say go to your local watch store and see what they have. Any 22mm band. I like the Netflix and chill option. I'm gonna use that and put some Usher on Confessions albums. And yeah, and that's what you can do with a voice command. You can literally say it and then get your lights turned off, turn on something like a receiver, or a Bluetooth speaker, and just start playing it, just like boom, just like that. Like, ooh, dangerous. Like you can be like, okay, set the mood, and boom, just it's over. It's over. Girl, just like it's done. Even can you imagine if you walked into a girl's place and she did that? I would be like, ooh, dang. So yeah, I'm really interested in Google Home, what it works with, and I don't have IoT devices yet. Yeah, I started getting into all of these Internet of Things and smart home technology because of Google Home. I didn't want to, because I live in an apartment, right? I didn't want to get into Google Home because I live in an apartment. I never wanted to get into smart things. But to review Google Home, I was like, well, I kind of need to get smart home stuff because that's what it works with. And so we did. And that's what we have now. I'm going to put some safety word. Oh, man. For some Trey Songz music, that's awesome. It's Google Pixel 2 coming with a micro SD card and waterproof. Google has never and will never do a micro SD card. They'll never do it. They'll have bigger internal storage, but they'll never have a micro SD card. They will have waterproofing on their next phone. I guarantee you that because they know they messed up by not having it this year. Do you think voice assistants that's supposed to Do you think the voice assistant that's supposed to come out on the S8 will be on the Gear S3 and on the S7 Edge? Eventually, I think it could happen unless it's a separate chip that controls the voice assistants, which could be. It's a possibility that could be, but it should come to the S7 Edge. I don't know about the Gear S3, to be honest. I wish I could say I have faith in Samsung when it comes to that, but I probably don't when it comes to that. Why you went live late? You mean 8 p.m. at what place? Oh, we always go live every week, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's on our banner on our YouTube channel. If you go on our main page, it's 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Why haven't you gotten a Marvel vs. DC game? Oh, why haven't we gotten a Marvel vs. DC game? Oh, it's a money thing. Both people would want money. Marvel would say, you have to pay us, DC, to be able to come. Like, if we have a game versus each other, Marvel would say, we want 70% of the profits. DC would be like, what? We're DC. We should have 50% of the profits. If not, we should have 60%. And you guys should. It's egos. It's egos. It's egos. It's egos. Because Marvel will say, well, look, our movies are the ones grossing money, and DC will be like, yeah, but it's going to have our TV show characters, and our TV shows are, getting more money. And then you're going to go back and forth, and it's egos. And yeah, that's it. Ricky, your video audio sounds okay with me. Do you think Apple is moving backwards in terms of their phones? No, I don't think Apple is moving backwards in terms of their phones. I don't think so. Apple Watch Series 2 versus Samsung Gear S3 Frontier. No one should buy the Apple Watch Series 2. Everyone should buy the Apple Watch Series 1. It's far more worth the price. The Series 2, for the price difference, doesn't really offer much, with the exception of GPS and the fact that you're going deeper in water. But yeah, that's the only reason to get it. I wouldn't get the Series 2. The Gear S3 is a better smartwatch, period. Do you know that Netflix is downloading offline movies and TV shows? Yes, but not every TV and movie and show. But man, that's about time. I was so disappointed in Netflix for not having that when I went to Europe. So for those of you who don't know, I went to Europe for my honeymoon and our Android tour earlier this year. And Luke Cage came out like 2 days before, and I wanted to see Luke Cage, and I had to wait till I got back, all because I could not download my videos offline with Netflix. Even though you could do it with the VPN, but it's a complicated issue. Why are we getting all these defective batteries in cell phones? We've always had defective batteries in cell phones. It's just, the issue is that it really is like a whole thing where it's just more exposed right now and people are looking at it more right now. What about the Gear S3 battery? Solid 2 days. I get a solid 2 days in the Gear S3 battery day in and day out. I've gotten up to 3 days, but that's not average. I would say 2 days is the average. I've never gotten a day. I've always gotten more than a day. Exactly what I told the Samsung rep, that I need to use my phone to get my rewards points. I might return the S3 and stick to my S2. I mean, you could say that, but at the same time, the S2 doesn't have like a separate Samsung Pay either, so it just, yeah. I mean, if it burns you that much, man, I understand. What phone case is that S7 Edge? This one is a case former case on my S7 Edge. Is the 6,600 Samsung Smart Refrigerator worth it? Not to me, it's not, because that's a lot of money, and I can't afford a fridge like that. So to me, it's not. If you want to buy it from me, I'll review it. I'll definitely tell you all about it. But no, in my opinion, I mean, it depends on how much you want. I mean, for that, it's a luxury. It's a luxury item. I mean, I would take a look at everything else the fridge can do. Samsung fridges are typically good, but I would more look at what the fridge can do. How much space does it have in it compared to other fridges in that price range? How much, just everything. Is it really cool that it has that? Yeah. I got really impressed by a GE that has like a built-in Keurig that you can control over Wi-Fi. That was cool to me. But yeah, so it just depends on what you're looking for. Is it hard to make YouTube videos? It can take time. It can take time. YouTube videos take time, and for me, I wish I was at the point where I could do only YouTube. I wish I could quit my 9 to 5 and just do YouTube videos. And I feel like I would make so much better YouTube videos if I could do that. Unfortunately, my channel is just not where it needs to be able to do that. Do you have any tips on how to improve battery and performance on the S7 Edge? Yeah, check out our video on how to speed up the S7 Edge and how to improve battery life. Did both those videos, check it out, and you will have a much faster phone and a much better battery life. I think I'd give you 2 to 3 hours more battery life depending on what carrier you're on. Even though it was for our safety, how come an update to kill the phone batter on the Note 7? I mean, I think Samsung was trying to do whatever they could with the Note 7 so people stopped using it. Here's the thing, people still love that Note 7. People don't want to give it up. I have still delayed. This is still a Note 7. I still have not gotten to the point where I'm shipping it back yet. I will, shipping it back, but it's hard to say goodbye. I already shipped my other one off. What's the best smartphone this year? Well, if I tell you that, then you wouldn't watch the 10 best smartphones of the year video that I'm recording this week. So, yeah. I will be doing that video this week. What's the best case for the S7 Edge? It's all a preference. I like Spec, Tech 21, OtterBox, depending on the person. In that, some people like UGA. I'm not too big a fan of theirs, but I definitely get the appeal. Incipio makes some really nice ones, especially my wife and a couple other girls really like the Incipio cases. So yeah. Where can I buy a Note 7? On eBay. Uh, what's up on the Samsung car? The Samsung makes plenty of cars. For those of you who don't know, Samsung makes a lot of cars in Korea. They do. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you knew that when asking that. Like, oh, since they bought Harman, a lot of people thought, are you going to get more into the car business? As of right now, Samsung said no. But yeah. Um, what's the best tablet right now? We will have a five best tablets of the year video, so that will be coming out as well this week. Do you watch Android Authority? Here and there, but I don't watch them as much. My favorite YouTuber is for tech has been and always has been Michael Fisher. He's my favorite YouTuber. I love watching his videos. He's so cool and awesome, and he was really nice too. I met him at CES last year. Gave me a few minutes while they were filming and everything out there. Great guy, really cool. Yeah, he's my favorite YouTuber. That's the one I watch the most in terms of YouTubers. Michael Fisher. I like Pocket Now in general. I still like Jaime Rivera. And who's their main reviewer now? Not Hayato Hughesman. Oh, I forgot his name. I think it's Jaime as well. But yeah, uh, can't think of the guy's name. He's a cool dude though too. He actually lives in LA too, but I've never met him. But yeah, I like Pocket Now. Phone Arena, I kind of like for their articles more than their videos. Their videos just aren't as good since John V left, and he's on Android Authority now. But yeah, Jim's Review Room is another one that I watch. So yeah. What's your 9 to 5? I don't usually talk about it too much, but I work for marketing companies that work with different tech companies, actually, so kind of perfect for me, right? They work for different tech companies and kind of teach, depending on which month it is, I'll be teaching people about LG devices or Sony devices or, Toshiba devices or Samsung devices or whatever it is. So, yeah. How did you get into the Android business? How I originally got into the Android business was just simply this. I liked no, not Jaime Rivera. It's another guy. The other guy who does the main video reviews. Juan Carlos Bagnell. Thank you, Juan Carlos Bagnell. He's a good reviewer too. How I got into the Android business was actually before I watched the ones that I just talked about. Before I watched Pocket Now and Android Authority. I watched more like Engadget, The Verge, Tech Buffalo, and ones like that. And at the time, they were idiots. They didn't know a damn thing about Android, and they would. The Verge still doesn't know that much about Android, in my opinion. But they really didn't know a lot about Android, and I would watch their videos and they would be comparing an Android and iOS device, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, too bad the Android doesn't have that," and I would be like yelling at the screen, like, "Yes, it does, you fucking idiot!" Like it was just so much. It was so horrible. So yeah, but yeah, definitely when it comes to Android, I felt like a lot of people didn't know enough about it, so I wanted to come in and teach people about it and kind of not only show people which products to buy, but how to use them once they buy it. Phone Dog's another one that's pretty chill. I like Phone Dog. I do watch them. I don't consider them one of the best in my opinion for what I like. But your reviewers are based on the things you're looking for and what you like. For what I look for and what I like, Michael Fisher, Mr. Mobile is my favorite. Asus ZenPad S3. I think it's the best 4G RAM only Android tablet. That is a very good one. Definitely high up on the list, and we might talk about on that five best tablets. Unfortunately, this has not been a good year for tablets, so there's just not that many great tablets out this year. Note 7 versus S7 Edge. I mean, the Note 7 clearly better than the S7 Edge, but we couldn't have that. Do you know the Tesla Model S P100D, better known as the fastest production car in the world? If so, would you like to purchase one? I would love to purchase one. I want to purchase it so much. Can I afford it? No. No, I can't. I would love to. Uh, I would love to have a Tesla in general. Tesla will most likely be my next one. But in terms of being the best overall, like car or electric car, my next car has to be electric. But like I said earlier, I live in an apartment right now, so when I buy my next car, I will have a home, and then I will buy an all electric car, and I love that idea. Where can I sell my Pixel XL? Had bad eBay experience. Want to get an S7 for compatibility or Gear S2 or 3. There are lots of mobile apps, but I use eBay personally. That's what I've always done and have great experience with. But yeah, I mean, there's like Let It Go. There's all different kind of mobile apps to sell now. The more thing is it's really a whole thing of how will that come about in terms of, do you meet? Are you paying ahead of time? All that kind of stuff. It's a tricky thing. Um, Oblique has some nice cases also. That's what I have for the S7 Edge. $12 on Amazon. Really good priced for Oblique for sure. Do you know MKBHD? Yeah, I know Marquise Brownlee. Yeah, no, he's really good. I consider him one of the best tech reviewers overall. Just in terms of mobile, I think he's a good reviewer, but he's not, again, what I look for in a mobile reviewer. I think he's an overall amazing tech reviewer. You know, him, Unboxes Therapy, and all those guys that work together. Your Average Consumer is another one, you know. All those guys are amazing tech reviewers. I just think in mobile, not what I look for. Not what I look for when it comes to for a reviewer. Again, to each their own. I mean, they're great. Don't get me wrong. They're far superior to me, I would say, but just not what I look for in a mobile reviewer. Flossie Carter buys a lot of tech and pretty good reviews. Flossie Carter's great too. So is Soldier Knows Best is one of my editor Wayne's favorites. So yeah. How many games do you play, and what console do you have, and can you name your three most favorite games? So the current game I'm playing right now is Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2. I also bought WWE 2K17, Madden 217, and I gameflied Final Fantasy 15. My three favorite. So you want me to name three favorite games? Just three favorite games. The first ones I would throw out there are Final Fantasy 7, Kingdom Hearts, the entire series because I love the entire series, and Metal Gear Solid. Off the top of my head, there's a lot of other games I like, but if you're asking me three favorite games off the top of my head, there you go. Is there an easy way to install a screen protector for the S7 Edge? I hate the lining screen protectors perfectly. I am not a good installer for screen protectors. I'll be the first to admit that. So yeah. Is there a fast charging cable or charging brick? Yes, there is fast charging. Fast charging is actually in both. The end of the USB has to be a certain way, and the brick has to be stunning. So fast charging is in both. So to get fast charging, you have to have a fast charging cable and a fast charging brick, as you put it. What's a good phone for $200? I think the Moto G is around that price point. Do you watch Unbox Therapy? Yeah, I always do. I watch Unbox Therapy. What headphones do you post on your Instagram and how much? Ah, those are the Sony Here On headphones. We already recorded the video for that one, but my editor hasn't got a chance to put it up yet, so that should be up this week as well for the unboxing of those. And we're currently testing them out. Normal price is $350. They were on sale on Amazon for $200 though, and that's when I just couldn't resist anymore and I had to buy them. I got ring key cases. I have the best cheap case using for the Zenfone 2, 64 gigs RAM. Yeah. So that one's a definite good one as well. Ring key. That's one my mom used on her phone after we reviewed the cases for the Note 7 when she had the Note 7. What's the best TV on the market? The best TV on the market is the LG OLED TVs. Samsung, if you're wondering, Samsung used to be the best, but unfortunately, they just don't have OLED technology. They used to on their TVs, but OLED's very expensive, and Samsung doesn't want to invest the money for it yet, and that's why OLEDs are very expensive for LG as well. So yeah. Does the Gear Watch have MST and NFC? And since there's no fingerprint to use, how to use security? So the Gear S3 has MST and NFC. What security you use is the 4-digit PIN. If you want to see how it looks like, check out our review, and I go over that 4-digit PIN. What's the best speaker right now? Best speaker ranges by the price point. It so changes by the price point. I love the JBL Charge 3. That's one I have for a loudspeaker. However, I really like the what do you call it? What do you call that? The JBL Clip 3, or sorry, Clip 2. I love that one for my portable. That's the one I always take around with me in a bag. Loud sound, great quality. But yeah, it depends. I mean, the Logitech UEs have been amazing. Pill Plus is really good. Bose is always a solid choice, so it just depends. Braven's actually pretty good. The Braven Miria is the one I have in my shower for water resistant and one that could really easily be in a shower because it has a hook. I love that one. What was your first console you ever owned? My first console that I ever owned was a Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo. I played Nintendo over my grandma's house, but the first one I ever owned was a Super Nintendo, followed by a Sega Genesis, and I was lucky enough to pretty much get every gaming console since then. However, I did go always Nintendo, always PlayStation, never went Xbox. So yeah. How much money do you spend a year on tech? Oh, I can't tell you that. I cannot tell you how much money I spend a year on tech because if I found that number out and my wife found that number out, I wouldn't be here anymore. Oh, oh, thousands, thousands. When is Android Nougat coming out for Samsung? I answered this earlier. Android Nougat won't come out till as early as January of next year for the S7 and S7 Edge. What do you think about Fitbit buying Pebble Company? I haven't heard of Fitbit buying Pebble Company, but yeah, sure, it makes sense. It gives them more ideas on a smartwatch technology. What tech bag do you recommend for travel? I personally love the Tilt bags. That's the one that I traveled with. The Tilt. I think it's called Energy Bag or something like that. They have like a 2.0 version that's coming out right now. I think it's on Kickstarter. But Tilt is probably the best tech bag I would recommend by far. That bag got me through Europe. So, hell of a bag. How can I transfer all my phone all my phone archives to my SD card. What do you mean by archives? Like everything that's the hidden stuff, or like what exactly do you mean by archives? Like, yeah, what do you mean by archives? I just wanted to see how techy you're getting here. Uh, what do you use for your main phone daily driver? Currently, right now, my daily driver is back to the S7 Edge. Tried the Pixel XL, went right back. Do you? Oh, my S7 Edge does have Android Nougat though, because I am beta testing it. Do you think Samsung Galaxy S8 is going to be more powerful than every other cell phone device? Absolutely, it will be. The S8 will be the pinnacle of smartphone technology for at least a month. And then there'll be other stuff that comes out and it's just as fast or whatever. All right, guys. I think we're gonna start wrapping up. Went a little over an hour, and my wife isn't allowed to stream when I film, so I'm sure she wants to start streaming again pretty soon. Um, yeah. Let's see if any other questions come in. Maybe I missed this earlier. Will the S8 come with Nougat and Google Assistant built in? It will definitely come with Nougat. We do not know if Google Assistant will come to any other phone besides Google phones yet, though, because no phone has Google Assistant except for currently right now, except for the Pixel, and it's coming to Nexus. How do I transfer my iPhone content to a Galaxy using Smart Switch? I have plenty of videos on this. Just look up a video how to transfer over from your iPhone to your Galaxy S7, and you'll see how. All right, guys, we will call that a show. Thank you as always for watching. I really appreciate it. Lots of videos coming soon. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure you give that like thumbs up before you click out of this video. And head over to our Patreon page if you want to win a Gear VR or Gear Fit 2. We're giving away 2 of these and 1 of these this coming month. So go over there and check it out, guys. Thank you as always again for watching. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.